What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are down here today with this is the week's hottest topics. So this is the week's hottest topics for the week of August the 29th through September the 3rd. We are already in September, you guys. The year is almost over. Can you guys believe that? Like 2021 is almost over. And doesn't feel like much has changed from 2020. Only thing that's different is nothing. To me, personally, I still feel like shit is still the same, right? But yeah, these are the hot topics, right? So if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not already subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to do me a big solid favor and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video and into the next. Oh no, that's the wrong way. Without further ado, you guys, let's talk about what's hot and what's trending this week, shall we? Alright, you guys, so we're going to start this video off on some sad notes, right? So the first thing I want to say is prayers up to everyone who's affected by Hurricane Ida, which I just saw. There's another hurricane that's coming. Damn. Like hurricane season. But yeah, my prayers go out to everybody, you know, from New Orleans, Mississippi, which y'all are literally our neighboring cousins, so I just really pray for you guys. I know that there are people that have come from New Orleans to my hometown where I'm at currently, and they don't even know when they're going to be able to go back home, which is really sad and it's really fucked up, right? You know, I was seeing, it's so interesting, right? You see on social media where people make these ignorant and stupid ass comments, right? Because you see people who make comments about the storm, right? You see people saying, y'all knew that the storm was coming. Why did y'all sit there? Well, some people have to ride the storm out because, one, they don't have the money, they don't have the means financially to just say, hey, let me get up and leave. Let me get out of here before the storm comes. People don't have the money like that. Like, it costs money to drive. Like, if you got, like I said, people came to New Orleans to my hometown. And my hometown to New Orleans, from here to Shreveport, that is about a 2 to 3 hour drive, right? Now I'm not sure how far Shreveport is from from New Orleans, but that's a good drive, right? And you have to stop to get gas, food, and all that kind of stuff, right? So stop saying ignorant shit like that, right? And then, like, you see people, like, this is going off on a little bit of a tangent. Like, you see people who are joyful about people that are about to lose their unemployment benefits, right? You see people like, oh, but now it's time for you to get a job. How do you know people, one, haven't been looking for a job, and two, people don't want to go back into the workforce and work for pennies and be treated like shit, right? Nobody wants that. So yeah, definitely prayers up to, those affected by Hurricane Ida. Then also I saw on Instagram last night where there was some flooding out in New York and New Jersey, which prayers up to those people as well. Like, now that one, I don't know how that flooding happened. Don't know how that happened. I know in Dallas, it happens quite often when we get a lot of rain in Dallas. It floods there. Like, I think it wasn't last year, it was the year before last, where a rainstorm came through, flooded the whole. Actually, that's happened 2 times since I've lived in Dallas, where it floods. The year before last was a year where what happened that year? Oh yeah, downtown when that young lady got killed. Like, it was really bad. Where the lightning struck and and literally it busted pipes and everything. So interesting. It's just sad, right? So yeah, prayers up to everybody from Hurricane Ida to the people who are affected in New Jersey, New York, all that. I did see this video. I saw a video of a rat swimming. I was like, oh hell no. If I had to ride the subway and stuff like that, I would never. Like, one of my friends was like, let's go to New York. I'm like, I'm not going to New York because I don't do the subway, because I don't do rats. I don't like rats. I have a deep fear of rats. A severe fear. I have a fear of rats. Oh God, rats just scare me. But yeah, once again, prayers up to all those affected. Let's move on, you guys. And then, you guys, in some more sad news, let's say rest in peace to Gregg Leakes from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we all know the story with Gregg, right? We know Gregg had colon cancer. We saw Gregg's journey with cancer on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Believe it was season 12 that we first saw Gregg's journey, right? And we saw Nene step into the role of caretaker of Gregg. And we saw Nene's personality change a little bit, right? But I understood Nene at that point, right? I didn't try to come down too hard on her because I know what it's like to deal with a loved one that is dealing with cancer, right? Because I've had plenty of loved ones. How many loved ones at this point have I had died from cancer? My grandmother, my grandfather, and my uncle. So I have 3 family members who died from it. And up until my grandmother passed away, my grandmother was the sweetest person, you ever wanted to meet. But with cancer, when she was going through it, she was a little mean. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, she was a little mean and difficult to deal with. At a certain point, we couldn't even get her to eat. It was like pulling teeth. Actually, it was like pulling teeth to get her to eat. Because, my mom, one day, she was trying to get my grandmother to eat something. She wouldn't eat it. She clenched her lips together when my mom put the spoon to her mouth. And she was like, Jerome, talk to her. And I said, well, can you feed her? So I said, Mom, you gonna let me feed her? She said, yeah. So she let me, give her 1 spoonful. I was like, you want some more? So I put it up to her mouth and she told me no. And she got mad at me. And my mom said, try. I said, no, I'm not. Like, she just got mad at me. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I understood what Nene was going through with that whole situation with Gregg. And I really wouldn't wish it on even my worst enemy to deal with someone that is going through cancer. I definitely wouldn't wish it on anybody, right? So we all remember Gregg, he did everything. He went through remission, right? So then it was this year, right, that we found out that he was in the hospital because his cancer had came back. I was like, oh shit. Like that actually I want to say that happened to my uncle, but I don't think it happened with my uncle, right? Because my uncle actually had colon cancer. My twin uncle that passed, he had colon cancer. He found out he had colon cancer in 2008, right? So he went through chemo and all that stuff, right? And up until he died in 2013, my uncle looked like a shell of himself. He continuously went through chemotherapy. And it was at one point that I went to a doctor's appointment with him, right? And the doctor told me, pulled me in to talk. I'm like, well, let me have you talk to my mom, because she's the one who I'm just bringing him to his appointment. So I said, like, let me have you talk to my mother, and you can talk, you can tell her whatever, right? And so he did that, right? So he spoke to her, and at one point, like I said, we believed that, him doing the chemo was, curing, helping him. But the doctor told her that it wasn't doing anything but really just killing him at that point, because the cancer was, far advanced at that point. So that's what I was about to say. I was like, I think he went into remission at one point, but I don't think he ever went into remission. I just think he was literally just going through that chemo, just pumping that poison into his body, not even getting better. And my uncle was very stubborn, so he would not tell us anything. Very stubborn. He didn't tell us much, so we didn't know much. We didn't know much until that one appointment. But he wanted to continue, and I was like, and we were like, if that's what you want to do, we're just gonna take you, right? We're gonna support you. But back to Gregg. His came back. I'm pretty sure it probably came back even more aggressive than before. But they told us that he went home, so it's like, okay, he's gonna be on the mend, right? So then last week, a video surfaced at Lenithia, at Nene's lounge, Lenithia. So I guess there were some patrons there that wanted Nene to wish them a happy birthday, right? But she didn't, and they wanted to call her rude. So Nene got on the microphone and she told them, people are going through things, and she said that right now her husband is transitioning. And when she said that, I was like, oh my God. Like, if you've never saw somebody that's going through cancer when they transition, it's horrible. It's the worst. It is the worst. Like, my grandmother and my uncle, I actually saw, with those two, I literally saw them as they were transitioning, and there was just nothing that could be done. I'm trying not to cry, you guys. I'm trying my hardest not to. Like, there was just nothing that could be done, because I remember watching my grandmother. I remember watching her. It was New Year's Eve. Actually, it wasn't really New Year's Eve. It was the day before. It was January. It was after Christmas. Let's just say that. It was after Christmas. Because Christmas, like I said before, she wasn't eating, but she was still alert. She was still, she actually, at that point, by Christmas, she had literally stopped. She wasn't talking to us anymore. If we would talk to her, she would just nod her head, yes, no. That was all we were getting from her at that point. Nothing. She was mute at that point. So then after Christmas, she was just sleeping. Like, she was sleeping all the time. We would have to wake her up because she just slept. And then New Year's Eve, my aunt and my cousins were at the house. My mother was at work and I was at home. So I went to pick my mom up from work. We go back to my grandmother's house, and there's an ambulance there, right? At the hospital, the doctor told us at this point, there's nothing we can do. Like, it's only a matter of time. He didn't give us a time frame. He just said at this point, it's really a matter of time. We don't know when, but it's just a matter of time, right? So at that point, she was in the bed. They didn't sedate her or anything, but she was in the bed. Maybe they did sedate her. I don't know. Well, what they did was I think what they did was, with her and my uncle, they just made them as comfortable as they could be. But with my grandmother, her eyes were closed, but you could still see her blink. Like, she was blinking. I think she was trying to open her eyes, but she couldn't. And then, eventually, I believe it was about 7:00 at night on New Year's Day, that my rude ass aunt came into the damn waiting room where I was. I was in a waiting room asleep. I don't know why my aunt decided to just come into the waiting room and say, Big Mama's dead. I almost cussed her out. I almost cussed my aunt out. And I told my mom, I'm like, your sister was really rude. Like, I had just woke up, and that's the first thing you tell me? And I rushed down to the room, and there was my grandmother, gone. Like, that was the rudest shit she could have ever done. But I say all that to say, I know that pain that Nene and her family are feeling at this point. I definitely know that pain of losing a loved one to cancer. Fuck cancer. And, we gonna say rest in peace to Gregg. Gregg, for me, was my favorite house husband of all of the franchises. Gregg was my favorite house husband. Love me some Gregg Leakes. Me and my mom actually both love Gregg. We watched Nene and Gregg's wedding special. We loved, at one point, we both loved Nene and Gregg. Gregg and Nene were our favorites. It's just interesting. It's crazy, right? But rest in peace to Gregg. Honk the horn on him, Gregg. Toot toot. Bloop bloop. Honk the horn on him, Gregg. Rest in peace, Gregg. My prayers to go out to Gregg's kids, his wife Nene, and grandkids, everyone else that has lost a tremendous person. So rest in peace to you, Gregg Leakes. Alright, guys, now let's go ahead and just get into the foolishness, shall we? Let's first talk about Texas and the Supreme Court, right? So, oops, that's not the right one. So, Texas and the Supreme Court. So, you guys remember that Governor Hot Wheels here in Texas, he wants to ban abortions up to 6 weeks when a woman is 6 weeks pregnant, right? But we all know that most women don't find out that they're pregnant until that point, or even after 6 weeks, right? So, it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court actually turned it down, which I think, like, that is so ridiculous. So at this point, it just feels like these people are literally trying to overturn Roe v. Wade. And it's frustrating and it's infuriating to me, right? For so many reasons. Now, like I've said before on this channel, I don't necessarily 100% agree with abortions, but it's not my right. It's not my choice. It's not my right. Like I can't police someone what to do with their body, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, just because I don't believe in abortions, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh my God, you need to carry that baby to full term. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that to a woman, and I don't feel it's right for old ass white men to pass a law to say to a woman, oh my, so you got pregnant. Well, guess what? Now that you're pregnant, you got to carry this baby to full term. I have an issue with that for so many reasons, right? And then I see people with the argument that, well, there's contraceptive, like when you have sex, be safe. Here's the thing: when it comes to condoms and birth control, condoms and birth control are not 100% effective, right? Like you do realize that sometimes people buy defective condoms, right? People buy defective condoms. Also, oftentimes condoms can break. And then when it comes to birth control, IUDs, those are not, sometimes that doesn't react. Birth control can react negatively to a damn. Sorry, y'all, I didn't mean to choke. Birth control that can react negatively to a woman's body, which then she might have to get off of birth control. So there's a hole in that flaw in that logic, right? And I'm not even going to bring up the point of rape because people be like, well, people want to get that percentage of rape victims. But even still, let's just say, because I was actually watching this show on ID called In Pursuit with John Walsh, right? So there was a case last night where this man, he was married to this woman. They were high school sweethearts, right? So he was in the Navy, and he and his wife moved away from their family, and they had a son. So she has a younger sister, and her sister was about 9 or not. I think she was either 9 or no, she was 11 years old. She was 11 years old. So during the summer, she went down and babysitted her nephew, right? So while she was there, her brother-in-law was molesting her. Then it eventually turned into rape. He raped her. So what if she had got pregnant? Y'all would have said, oh, no, and it was in Texas. It wasn't in Texas where it happened, but I'm just giving that example. That does happen. Men do rape young girls more often than you guys want to put out there. That happens more than you believe, but people try to sweep it under the rug sometimes. So that's one instance. She could get raped. So if she's in the state of Texas and a family member or a family friend is raping her and she just gets pregnant, so at that point she's gonna have to carry a fucking baby to term that she didn't even want to begin with. Like, that's stupid. And then also when it comes down to women having babies, right? Like, you got to think about it. Oftentimes there are people who don't even want kids to begin with it, right? So you're going to tell people to stop having sex. That's human nature. So then, there are people who are told, oh, you're like men. Some men are told that they're sterile. Some women are told that they can't have babies. But there are those off chances where, damn, I didn't know I could get pregnant, and boom, I'm pregnant. And what if they didn't want the baby? Then they want you to carry a baby to full term that you don't want. So then, they're talking. But here's my thing, and I even tweeted this. I commented on Instagram. I think it was a Shade Rooms post, and I added Greg Abbott. I was like, okay, so ladies, if you guys have babies, do this. Take your baby and place them on the front step of Greg Abbott's door, since he wants to be a father so badly. Since he wants to be a daddy, do that. But then with this stupid ass law, you're gonna have either more kids in the foster care system, which is already flawed and fucked up as it is. You probably have more abused babies out there. Like I said, if a woman doesn't even want the child and she carries it to term, you're gonna have more abused kids. Number two, they're going to find other ways to have an abortion. They might go to a different state. Or they might do like the crate challenge. They might fall down a flight of stairs. They're going to become creative with trying to get rid of, what they do. And then you also might have more babies. Like, I think it was a case in Chicago where a baby was placed in a dumpster. But they got the baby out the dumpster before the trash men came. Like, you're going to have more instances like that. And it's so interesting to me that these pro-life people, they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth, really. You got these pro-life people who are saying, they're at this point right now, they are talking about, with the mask and the mandates, my body, my choice, right? But you don't give extend that same grace to a woman. They're like, but it's not really her body because she has it until it has a heartbeat and stuff like that. It's an embryo, it's an egg. It's not a human. Like, it's not a. Like I said, once again, I will continue to say it. I don't advocate for abortion, but I'm not someone that's gonna sit here and say, oh, just because you were, just because you had sex and you might not have wanted to get pregnant, you can't have an abortion. I don't speak on anybody else's body. I don't care, to be quite honest with you. Like when it comes to the mask and the vaccine, I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, you need to get the vaccine. But with the mask, I just feel that with the mask, I feel that the masks are preventative. They're not and like I said with condoms and birth control, they're not 100%, but it's something, right? It's definitely something that can help. It's something that can help. That's pretty much all I got, I think. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to say before I move on. Let's see. I just don't understand it, right? I just really, truly don't understand it. Oh yeah, I knew I had another point that I wanted. Like, people keep saying my body, my choice with the mask, right? But like I told you guys a few weeks ago, I got the flu from someone that I don't know who I got it from. But it's their body. They didn't have to get the flu shot. They didn't have to wear a mask. But you then came and gave me the flu. I didn't even know I had the flu. I could have died because my fever reached a high of 100, and at its highest, I was at 10. I know at its highest I was at 108. Like, I had a very high temperature. I could have died because of someone else's negligence. So yeah, remember that shit. Your body, your choice. But if you sick, you can still pass that shit on to someone else. Remember that shit, Republicans. Texans, I know I got a lot of people from Texas who watch me, you guys. In 2022, we got to get out there and vote Greg Abbott out. Vote him out. Vote Greg Abbott out. Vote Ted Cruz out. Vote these motherfuckers out. That's all I got to say, and we going to move on. All right, you guys. Now, let's just get into some funny shit, right? Trick Daddy. So, Trick Daddy was on Norie's podcast, right? So, Trick is a part of the Eat the Booty gang. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Well, it goes both ways, right? So, Trick is eating somebody else's booty out, and Trick is getting his booty cat ate. I was like, oh my God. Trick is getting his booty cat ate. That is a visual of which I never, ever thought I don't want to see it, period, point blank. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, it's nasty to eat somebody's booty. Nah, it ain't. I mean, shit, it happens. If you eat booty, that's on you. That's your business. Yes, your what you do in your bedroom, I don't give a fuck about it, right? It's just the image of Trick Daddy. The way Trick Daddy looks currently. Who in the fuck is eating Trick's booty cat? Nikki Natural, did you eat Trick Daddy's booty cat? Like, girl, y'all, oh God. Like, one of my friends on Twitter, he was like, y'all talking about you wouldn't eat Trick's booty, but for the right amount of money you would. I tweeted, the devil is a lie, and the truth ain't in him. Like, a lie don't care who tell it. Who in the fuck wants to eat Trick's ass? If I was a woman, and Trick could not pay me $1 million if I was a woman to eat his booty cat. Nope. Because I was just thinking about it. Because if you guys remember the scene from Scary Movie 2 when Marlon was having sex with, when Shorty, Marlon's character, was having sex with that ghost in the closet, and she was ugly as fuck. and he had that plastic bag, that paper bag over her head, just to cover up her face. You can't even do that with Trick, because you will still know it's Trick. That at the end of the day, you will still know it's Trick, and it's just like, oh God. It would be like, how did I fall from grace this far? But I'm taking money from the likes of Trick Daddy, who looks like Esther Roll, a burnt up version of Esther Roll. Now I know Trick got lupus, so I know he got lupus, and I'm just, these are just jokes. But yeah, ain't no way in the hell I would. Oh God, y'all are really out there eating Trick's Boochie Cat. I know I got some people in Miami that follow me. I hope y'all ain't one of them women out there that's eating Trick's Boochie Cat. I'm just gonna say that. I hope y'all are not out there actually eating Trick's Daddy's Boochie Cat. Boochie Cat. Trick's Boochie Cat. That just makes me want to throw up in my mouth. But Trick. I hope he paying y'all enough, because there's got to be money involved with that. You can call me. I mean, at that point, you can say whatever, baby. If I'm gonna eat that Boochie Cat, you paying me. But like I just said a minute ago, ain't no amount of money worth it to eat that Boochie Cat. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're gonna move on. Trick getting his Boochie Cat licked. Hey, again, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with getting your salad tossed. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But no. Moving on. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about what's going on in Aurora, Colorado, with the Elijah McClain story, right? So it came out yesterday that the grand jury has decided that they are going to, put forth a 32 count indictment charges against the 32 count indictment against the cops and the 2 paramedics that were involved in his death, right? So the charges include manslaughter and negligent homicide, right? So at this point, I'm not going to 100% rejoice in the fact that, charges have been brought against them for his death, because typically we know, justice just doesn't get served when we get to the court, right? Because still thinking about it, think about what happened with, all the cases that we have, even if they do go to court, we don't get, I think the only case that I can really say that we got justice in is George Floyd, right? We didn't get any justice with, what is his name? Botham Jean, right? You guys remember I told you a few weeks ago, I told you guys some time ago, right, that the young lady, Amber Geiger, who went into the wrong apartment. And actually, speaking of that apartment, you guys, I've actually been to that apartment complex. I don't know how she got, that's gotta be a lie. It's a lot. Like I said, I've literally been to that apartment. Been to it. So what she's saying, those floors are different. Like, if you look at them, you really got to look at them. Like, they're not the same. So I don't know how she went to the wrong quote unquote apartment. But you guys remember she was trying to parole, but she got denied. Thank God for that. But with this, like I said, I'm just not going to fully feel like justice is served until they have their day in court and they get convicted of the crimes. So we have a small step right now with this, manslaughter and negligent homicide. We have a small, I don't even know if I want to say it's a small victory, but we have something right now, right? We have something. So that's the one thing I can't say. We have something. So we'll see what happens when they go to court. I hope justice is served. I really do. But let's move on and we're going to wrap up, you guys. All right, you guys. And then lastly, let's just do some congratulations. So congratulations are in order to LaToya Luckett. So LaToya Luckett will be joining the cast of Power Book 2. She'll be playing the character Jukebox's her mother. That's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how she and Marvin got together, right? So Latoya, she might not be singing these days, but that acting bug, once she got it, she has not stopped. Right, Latoya, her first for me, the first time I saw Latoya acting was on Single Ladies on VH1, and I was like, okay, Latoya, come on with the acting. Then we know her from Greenleaf as Wretched Rochelle. Then and now she's here. I think she also did a movie called Seat Filler, didn't she? Or was that Kelly? Somebody did a movie called Seat Filler. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, congratulations to Latoya for her role on Power Book 2, 3. No, Power Book 3. If I said 2, I meant 3. Then also, we're going to give a congratulations to Kenya Moore. So Kenya Moore, this hasn't been announced officially, but word on the street is that Kenya Moore is going to be joining the cast of Dancing with the Stars. So congratulations to Kenya. Let me know in the comments section if you guys will be watching Dancing with the Stars. I honestly have not watched Dancing with the Stars in years. It's been years since I watched Dancing with the Stars. I can't remember the last person who won Dancing with the Stars when I watched it. Can't tell you that. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about all the subjects that we discussed this week. Be safe, you guys. Have a great weekend. I will catch you guys later on for Love After Lockup. And that'll be it, you guys. And then I'll see you guys for, Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then that'll be it for the week. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys later. As always, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear masks, socially distance, you guys. Be blessed, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.